So, after last night's game, this one was a bit disappointing. Infinitely less interesting and fun, at least from my perspective. As fans, you might think a little bit of the opposite, but for me and the Blackhawks, it just seems like we're kind of back to regular scheduled programming. Yeah.
Woohoo! We are in a week. Yeah. Can't get any better.
Hello, welcome to Hawks Recap. Game 79 has just concluded, which means we only have 3 more games left of the season, unfortunately. The Hawks get shut out in this one on the back end of a back-to-back against the Colorado Avalanche by a score of 5-0, and with the Blackhawks winning in glorious fashion against the Winnipeg Jets in last night's game and all the other craziness that happened in that game, it seemed like the Hawks kind of just came crashing down from that high. Starting in net for the Blackhawks in this game, not emergency goaltender, just their rookie Colin Delia, who was supposed to make his debut in this game, but because of Forsberg's injury before last night's game, he actually ended up making his debut in last night's game and then proceeded to get injured himself. But thankfully, it wasn't a serious injury and he was able to play in this one, but essentially playing in back-to-back games, playing both the front end and back end of a back-to-back. So it's tough for him, especially a rookie here, making his first 2 starts in the NHL in basically back-to-back games. And you could tell he played great in last night's game before getting injured, and he played pretty well to start this game, but just fatigue-wise, him and the entire team, they just hit a wall, it seemed like. But it's a lot of hockey to play for a rookie. It really is, especially against 2 teams back-to-back who have offenses that will throw the puck your way a lot. Now, I feel really bad because in the last Hawks recap video, I kept mispronouncing his name. I kept saying Delia through the entire video, a video for his NHL debut. And because of the whole emergency backup goaltender situation and story and ridiculousness, it was a video that, relative to me, went viral. I average around 40-ish views for these Hawks recap videos. This is the first year I've been doing these after every single game, so I don't really do these for the numbers. It's not why I do this. I enjoy doing it, and that's really all that really matters. But the fact that even 40 other people are willing to spend their time to watch something I created, that's awesome. That is awesome to me. Like, I can't thank you guys enough for watching. But this video, or the last video, because of Scott Foster and that whole story, I'm checking right now, it's right around 1,800 views, which in the YouTube grand scheme of things is still very tiny, but to me is absolutely insane. My mind is just not comprehending it. It's awesome. And that's why I feel so bad, because I kept mispronouncing his name in that video. Now, getting back to this game, and speaking of rookies, Hillman getting his NHL debut in this one because, well, why not this season? Let's get everyone their debuts this season. Hillman, honestly, didn't really notice a whole lot of him, which for a defensive defenseman is usually a pretty decent thing. First period, the Hawks come out flying. They look like they still have energy and adrenaline from last night. And the Avs, I don't know what they're doing, but they don't look like a team that's fighting for a playoff spot. That's for sure, at least in the first period here. Hawks with a ton of good looks, but because Varlamov is in net and because he is a brick wall to the Blackhawks, nothing goes in for the Hawks, and it is 0-0 late into the first period. Avalanche with offensive zone time, and they throw a puck towards the net. It looks like it's going a little bit wide. Delia reaches out his glove to try to make the save. He also kicks out his leg, trying to make it look like a fancy glove save. And then Yakupov ends up just skating right into Delia's outstretched leg, trips over it, and the ref calls Delia for tripping, which, sir, I disagree with that call, but nonetheless, Avalanche go to the power play, and then a little over a minute left to go in the first period. Andrighetto has the puck, and he skates through basically the entire Blackhawks team and snipes it past Delia. And even though the Avalanche got outplayed severely by the Blackhawks in the first period, they take a 1-0 lead into the second. Second period, the Avalanche wake up and push back, probably realizing that they need to play better if they want to make a push to get into the playoffs here. But the Hawks still had some chances in the second period, most notably one where Tyson Barrie had to clear the puck from the goal line not once, but twice. Hawks just could not buy a goal there. A little under 7 minutes into the second period, Murphy and Compher partake in some fisticuffs action. From the replay, it looked like leading up to it, Compher basically was holding Murphy's stick, trying to draw a penalty. I'm actually surprised he didn't get a penalty called on himself for having two sticks. Murphy's like, what are you doing? He took exception to it, and there was some deucing after that. A pretty even fight, really. But instead of a potential Blackhawks power play, we have some 4-on-4 action. And during that 4-on-4 time, Kampf gets called for a high-sticking infraction, which means the Avalanche get a 4-on-3 power play, and well, they take advantage of that. Tyson Barrie with a shot from the point, screen in front, puck goes through Delia's 5-hole, and it's 2-0 Avalanche thanks to 2 power play goals going into the third period. And then the third period was basically when the Avalanche completely took over, and the Blackhawks, well, they just kind of hit their wall and experienced their crash and just looked dead tired out there. Mikko Rantanen would score a power play goal 6.5 minutes into the third period, a one-timer from a very nice feed, cross ice from McKinnon. Delia had no chance on that one. That would make it 3-0 Avalanche, and at this point in the game, special teams was literally the difference in the game. Blackhawks, 0 power play goals for 0 power play chances. Avalanche, 3 for 3 on their power plays. 8.5 minutes into the third period, a 3-on-1 situation for the Avalanche, and Tyson Jost buries it to make it 4-0, and then with a little over 2 minutes left to go in the game, Andrighetto would get his second goal of the game after skating 200 feet coast to coast and then sniping it by Delia, and that's how this game would end. One thing I should mention, in that third period, Jurko had the puck in the offensive zone, made a great move on the rush, get to the front of the net, but he blew a tire. I'm not sure if he just caught an edge by himself or if the defender's stick kind of helped him a little bit. It was hard to tell, but in any case, he went barreling into Varlamov, and Varlamov was injured because of that, and he had to leave the game. Bernier would come in for the last couple minutes of the game. Hopefully it's nothing serious for Varlamov, because otherwise that would be a huge blow to the Avalanche, especially being this close to the playoffs. Other than that, not really a whole lot to say about this game. Pretty uneventful, especially from the Blackhawks' perspective, and especially after last night's game. Up next for the Hawks, they have 2 games against the St. Louis Blues. First, they have 4 days off. I'll try to get a video or 2 out during that off time. But St. Louis Blues in a playoff race against the Avalanche, basically. So Avalanche fans and team probably want the Blackhawks to win those games. And, well, Blackhawks fans and team, well, we don't like the Blues all that much. So knocking them out of the playoffs would be pretty darn nice. And we can help do that, help play spoiler here in these next 2 games. And with that, I say thank you so much for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I really hope you enjoyed it, whether you are a longtime watcher or perhaps you just found this channel because of the previous game and its ridiculousness. Welcome aboard. Better late than never, right? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Game, team's performance, really anything, honestly. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate that as always, but most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.